Welcome to a very special edition of Enterprise Unplugged and our big update. I'm Steve Cowley, Sales Director for Exos Enterprise Europe, and I'm joined by my three colleagues, Tom Cox, Commercial Director, Nick Powling, Commercial Director for our Networking and Enterprise Components business, and Dom Ryles, Sales and Commercial Director for Cybersecurity. Welcome, guys. So, our big update is the Enterprise Summit, formerly known as Storage Focus, is returning in April 2025 back to its home in Barcelona. So I'm here today to get a bit of a better understanding of the event from my colleagues and most importantly to find out what's in it for you, our partners. So for those of you that are not familiar with the Enterprise Summit, it's been running for many years. It's the biggest enterprise-only channel-focused event in Europe. And the premise of the event is to get the top enterprise vendors with you, our partners, to show you new technologies, introduce new lines to your portfolio, bring disruptive technologies to you, enabling you to differentiate yourself and your business and to give you a fighting chance against the big OEMs. We want you to get together with our vendors to strengthen your relationship with them. And ultimately, we want to help you unlock your growth. So Tom, the Enterprise Summit builds on the legacy of Storage Focus. Can you share how the event has evolved into Europe's leading enterprise IT channel event?
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. So obviously going back in time to 2007, which was our first ever Storage Focus event. Humble beginnings, very small. I think it was no more than a dozen vendors that we had back in 2007. And we saw a gap in the market where we believed there wasn't any truly storage-focused events in the UK at that time, and we were at that moment in time we were really only a UK business as well. So we hosted an event, wanted to get 2 days with our customers, get our best vendors together to, exactly like you said on the intro, talk to our customers about our value, about our vendor portfolio, and how we could enable them to win in storage at that moment in time. And then we run that year after year. I think the first one we'd done was at Silverstone at the race circuit. The year after that was at Fruxton, and I think we'd done a couple of years at Mallory Park. And the event just grew momentum. We went from a dozen vendors to 20 vendors to 30 vendors. The audience, the customers that we were inviting in the UK was getting bigger and bigger. It was definitely growing a reputation for itself in the UK. But during that time, as a business, we were also scaling across Europe rapidly. I think, in a 5-year span, we opened 6 offices across mainland Europe, and Europe become a big contributor to our overall number. So even if you look today at a £500 million turnover sterling per annum, our business in Europe equates to about 35% of our overall business. And during that time, our business, as I said, was scaling rapidly, and we got to a point where we wanted to do something for all of our customers, not just our UK customer base, but also our European customer base as well. And we took that decision probably in about 2015 to host our first pan-European event, which was held in Barcelona. And this is where we're going back to now, and it's been in great demand. We have changed dramatically as a business since 2007, where it was only storage focused. Our portfolio is incredibly diverse now compared to what it was. Obviously, it's still, purely enterprise focused, but we've gone from just a storage specialist distributor to a true pan-European enterprise specialist distributor covering technologies like server, storage, infrastructure, cloud, security, to go on and on and on. So now the event has grown tremendously, and it's not just storage focused, it's now truly enterprise specialist focused. As I'm sure as we'll get onto the numbers, the amount of vendors that are going to be in attendance, the amount of customers from all around Europe that will be in attendance, it's really grown into something quite magnificent.
Okay, thanks Tom, thank you for that. So Nick, Tom mentioned the events in Barcelona. Why do you think W Hotel in Barcelona is an ideal event and location for this event?
Well, as Tom alluded to, Steve, I think it's a lot about the legacy of the event. We certainly in the latter years, we hosted Storage Focus within Barcelona, a different hotel, but it's definitely a great location, great city. Hopefully nicer weather than it'll probably be here in the UK. In terms of the W Hotel, I haven't personally been there, but certainly from what I've seen, it's a great venue with great facilities, great views of the sea, and just a great central location for both our customers and vendors from both the UK and continental Europe to get to.
Yeah, agreed. So Dom, the tagline of the event promises to unlock your growth and challenge the status quo. In your opinion, what does that mean for attendees, and how do you think the agenda reflects this vision of the event?
Yeah, I think it goes back to exactly what Tom was saying around we're more than just a storage distributor today. We are that cross-pollination of a full enterprise stack, end to end. So really our aim with the event is to take our partners on that journey of really understanding the possibilities of what's available from a technology standpoint. So if we look at our portfolio today, granted we don't have, stacks and stacks of tier one vendors. We're trying to challenge the status quo by having disruptive technologies that our partners can take to market. They're commercially more viable for a lot of our customers as well. They can create bespoke component solutions that can help to drive new avenues of business for them and new revenue streams as well. So that's really what we're trying to do with the event.
Okay. Tom, so with things like AI, data explosion, sustainability, cybersecurity, how do these topics, in your opinion, reflect the current challenges and opportunities for enterprise IT as a whole?
Okay, yeah, so good question, that one. So 4 key themes there, and I think all 4 themes have challenges, but the beauty is they have an enormous amount of opportunity within each theme as well. So if we just, look at, as an example, look at AI today, it's on the 2 letters on the tip of everybody's tongue. And everybody sees it in the market, everybody hears about it in the market, but they don't really do it, to be fair. I think our job at an event like this is to enable our partners to realise the opportunity that AI actually creates, rather than just talking about it. Today you see it in the press, and AI seems to be for the few, right? It seems to be kind of a lockdown type of technology or group of technologies that are very, very advanced, very complex, and not for everybody. The few are winning, where the masses are just looking on and not really taking advantage of the opportunity. So that's what we're there for. The vendor lineup that we have from an AI perspective are there to talk about, how they can facilitate the big, CSPs that are delivering GPU as a service. They're there to talk about the inception partners that are working with the likes of NVIDIA and how we can enable them to scale their business and their product. And more importantly, we've got vendors there that actually have AI turnkey solutions. So we're talking about hardware, software, and services in AI that enable our customers, whatever market they're in, to actually start utilising AI within their own infrastructure and offering it out to their customers as a service. And that's something that's very unique. There's not many distribution partners out there today that are actually delivering true turnkey AI solutions like we are today. And our customers are going to see that, and they're going to get experience of that. They might even get to see some demos and then walk away from that event with ideas of how they can turn that into opportunity, revenue, and GP for their business. But as you said, 4 key themes, that was just one example. I could go much deeper into storage, cybersecurity, and sustainability as well, but all equally as important as each other. But our customers will get a real good grasp of what we're doing in each theme, what they can take away from that theme, and how they can turn that into potential opportunities within their own business.
Thanks, Tom. Sounds good. Nick, so this event, it's invite only, it's exclusive. Who is the event specifically designed for?
Well, I think, great question, Steve. I think, as Dom and Tom have both alluded to, ultimately it's for any of our partners, whether they're long-standing customers of ours or new customers or new partners of ours, who want to challenge that status quo, as the guys have both said, in terms of expanding the opportunity that's in front of them, expanding the technology and the vendor portfolio that they currently buy from us today.
Okay, thanks, Nick. So Dom, the event is packed with opportunities. Can you walk us through the format and what can attendees expect from the conference, the exhibitions, and the networking sessions?
Yeah, of course, Steve. I think we've got an amazing lineup. prepared for our customers over in Barcelona next year. So, if we just look at the format, we've got some big headline sponsors, we've got some big headline talks that are going to go on throughout the days as well. Main stage type content, we're going to be looking at thought leadership as well. So what's happening in the industry, adding on own knowledge and expertise into that as well. We'll have breakout sessions for partners to engage with Exertis staff. We'll also have areas within the exhibition hall where customers can go, as Tom said, sort of look and feel and touch some of the technology that we're operating with today. So really, I think it gives our customers the best opportunity to not only look at some new technology that may be on the market, gives them an opportunity to engage deeply with our vendors as well. And then I believe we also got some one-to-one meetings that can also be scheduled throughout the 2 days that we're there as well. So great format personally, and I think our customers are in for a real treat when it comes to the whole knowledge and sharing of expertise as well.
Okay, thanks, Dom. So, Tom, key vendors are integral to the summit.
Yeah.
Who are some of the big names that are going to be exhibiting, and what sort of innovations will they bring to the table this year?
Okay, so this is our best lineup in our history. I think we've got some of the definitely some of the most innovative vendors on the planet today, and some of the biggest vendors on the planet today when it comes to advanced tech. So I think Dom mentioned it a little bit earlier in terms of the stack. We've been very conscious that we want to have vendors there that enable all of our customers to increase their relevance within each opportunity and get a wider portion of each wallet share within their customers' opportunity as well. So if we look at server storage, you've got enterprise level components, you've got networking, you've got security, you've got cloud, you've got services in there as well. But just to name a few, you've got NVIDIA will be on the main stage with Supermicro. You've got Seagate storage, both from a component and from a solutions perspective, on the main stage as well. I'm really excited to see what they have to talk around. I know, data is a real challenge today in terms of it's great that it's growing at an exponential rate, but how do you store it? Where do you store it? What do you store it on? How do you manage that data? And I know they're going to be talking around, their edge to cloud type portfolio they have available now today, which is amazing. But, if you look, we've got, GPU, CPU with Intel and AMD will be there as well. You've got Supermicro and Fujitsu from a server perspective, Seagate, WD from a storage perspective. Then we look at networking. We've got the likes of Mellanox, we've got Cambium, we've got Alcatel-Lucent. And then we look at, from a security perspective, Sonic Wall, along with other vendors. And then we look at the infrastructure side of things, which is something that has kind of been overlooked in the past, but the likes of Schneider APC, Eaton are there as well from a racking, PDU, UPS perspective. And then we'll be talking a little bit around our cloud services and actual services that we offer out as a business as well to our customer demographic. So, some of the biggest vendors in the world today will be there, and the customers will experience some real good innovation throughout this event as well.
Okay, thanks, Tom. So, Nick, let's talk about the unique aspects of the event. So, the one-to-one meetings, panel discussions. Let's face it, it's the W Hotel, Barcelona. There's going to be some incredible dining experiences as well. How do these create value for attendees?
I think you're right to mention the W Hotel again. Whilst we talked about unlocking opportunity and understanding technologies in some of the new vendors in our lineup, but we are also there to build on our relationships with our partners and the vendors, and actually have a little bit of fun along the way. So I think it's a mixture of having an element of fun, but also learning and building on those business relationships we've got with both our partners and our vendors. Okay,
yeah, completely agree. Dom, what will attendees learn about sort of critical industry shifts? Tom mentioned AI, data management, and sustainability. What will our partners learn about these things during the event?
Yeah, I think, if you take data in an isolated way at the moment, I think the statistic is 90% of the world's data today has been generated in the past 2 years, and that's an astronomical statistic that I actually heard during an event earlier this year. And we're up to about 120 zettabytes of data. So to Tom's point, the data is exploding exponentially. And I think it's events like this or Enterprise Summit that really give our partners the gravitas around the data explosion, but more than anything, how they can also work with some of our technology brands, some of their platforms, some of their tooling that's available as well to certainly manage that data. And let's not forget AI is also exploding as well. It's on the tip of everybody's tongue. And our event is a great way for our customers to engage with technology specialists to really understand how they can harness the power of AI and utilize it in their own businesses moving forward to, streamline operations or efficiency, whatever it may be. So, not forgetting sustainability as well. It's high up on a lot of company agendas at the moment, and rightfully so. So 3 main key areas that we'll explore during the event, and I'm sure a lot of our customers will get a lot of information from it as well.
Okay, thanks, Tom. So, Tom, I know it's usually a bit of a cliche at these events, the networking aspect of it. But in your opinion, how does this event facilitate the good connections that we want to promote between the industry leaders and our partners, the attendees that are coming?
Another good question, and a really important one as well, Steve. A great man once said to me, "You can't put a price on relationships." And he said that to me probably 15 years ago, and he was absolutely spot on.
Sound advice, Tom.
Sound advice. Now, think about it, in a beautiful city, in the sun, 2 days, in a hotel, together, some of the best vendors on the planet, some of the best customers in the UK and across Europe as well, with obviously our fabulous staff, both from a senior leadership perspective, but our BDMs, our sales staff, our product management, our marketing teams, and it's going to be, basically a bowl of innovation, conversation and collaboration, and that's the key from this, is we want our partners to leave that event not just knowing about new technology and innovation and how they can turn what's coming down the pipe, how they can turn that into opportunity, but we want to be part of them turning that into opportunity. We want it to be collaborative and feel like they're supported on their journey in creating new revenue and profit streams within their business. And we don't win alone, we win together, basically. And we are a business that really like to have everybody in that opportunity. So we love leveraging our vendor and their capabilities and their skill set. We like delivering our value, coupled with our vendors' great work, and in obviously working with our partners to win and win together and win big.
And just to add to that, ultimately, I think the cornerstone of our business is the relationship. Hopefully, we like to think about with our customers and understanding their business. So it is key that we build on those relationships and have some of those deep and meaningful conversations.
Yeah, becoming like a trusted advisor. I think it's like a partnership at the end of the day.
Let's be honest, at the end of the day, you want to have a beer, you want to relax, and you can have a nice relaxed conversation with a customer over a beer, and always goes a long way, in my opinion.
Couldn't agree more.
So Nick, if there's one takeaway you'd want all attendees to leave with, what would that be?
I think it's hard to narrow it down to one. I'd like to think they'll leave or take away certainly a lot more knowledge and maybe a bit more understanding of some of those disruptive technologies that we've all talked about. But if I had to say one, I'd probably say the key takeaway is that they leave knowing that we can actually, as a partner and a specialist distributor, they understand the true value that we can add to their business.
Yeah, agreed. If I think back to conversations I've had at past events that we've done in Barcelona, the conversations I have with customers after the event, 9 times out of 10, usually culminate in the partner saying, "Look, it's great. You've switched a light bulb on inside me for this new technology or this new line within the portfolio," and history shows that they've gone on to introduce this line, bringing this disruptive technology to their business, and it has genuinely helped grow their business. So for me, that's a takeaway that I think most partners will get when they leave the event.
Yeah, and I think you'd be amazed how many times, to your point, we've had those conversations and customers say, "Oh, I've been buying from you for 10, 15 years. I didn't know you did X, Y, or Z.
Yeah.
So it's just about opening those conversations up, ultimately, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So, any final thoughts or insights for listeners that are considering attending the summit in Barcelona?
Yeah, I suppose I'll put my penny's worth in. I think, we're going to have some fantastic customers there, existing customers that we've been dealing with for years, but there'll be a lot of prospect customers there as well, and I think there'll be something for everybody. I think one thing that I'm interested in looking at is the outcome of the event, and I know for a fact there'll be many customers and prospects coming to this event that do buy a lot of product from us or a lot of solutions from us, but they might only buy one or two types of products or solutions from us. I think what they'll be surprised to see is how we can enable the breadth of technology that they sell today into their existing customer base and into new customers that they're targeting as well. And I think one thing they'll be very pleased to see is about how within our specialisms that we have within our business, so across server storage, enterprise components, security, infrastructure, cloud, I think what they'll be surprised to see is the amount of enablement that we apply to those specialisms. So, us as a specialist enterprise distributor pride ourselves on enabling our partners to onboard new technologies, not just the technology itself, but the technology in terms of training, certification, the go-to-market strategies, and how we help them from a services perspective as well. So just from attending this event, you might be turning up for the one segment that you buy from us and that you focus on with us, but I think you'll leave with a whole plethora of new ideas and opportunities, but then also the enablement process of how to get you there to actually execute in your strategy on selling those products and solutions into your customer base. So really looking forward to seeing what the outcome of that is.
In addition to what Tom said, I think it's really important that all of our partners that are attending keep a level of open-mindedness because, as Tom's alluded to, there's a lot of our partners that are purchasing from enterprise or purchasing from security in an isolated fashion. It might be one line of business, and actually really what we're trying to do with the summit is give customers the opportunity to really embrace the other technology lines that we have within the enterprise portfolio. And I think they'll be quite surprised with the amount of enablement and tools that we have and solutions and white box material that we can couple together for them from a solution perspective. So yeah, that would be definitely my final thought.
In addition to what Dom and Tom have said, I think we've covered most of the bases in terms of the summit itself, but certainly I'm really looking forward to the panel discussions. I think it'll be a bit of fun. Hopefully it'll work. We've got panel discussions around sustainability, security, storage and AI. So it'd be interesting to get customers' feedback and listen to some of the questions that they've got around those particular topics.
So customers will have a chance to get involved in those panel discussions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
So then discussions, they're vendors and people from Exetis Enterprise as well, right? So it's a mix. It's not just Exetis Enterprise employees, it's actual vendors as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the vendors, and I think we're the lucky ones that are going to be on some of those panel discussions.
Excellent.
So thanks to Tom, Nick and Dom. Thanks for your insights. We can't wait to welcome everybody to the event in Barcelona in April 2025. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to seeing you in Barcelona.